This is Ben, Liam and Belle on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Oh, yeah, back live. This is all new gear from this point. I'm putting a marker on it from here. New.
Imagine if
New stuff.
podcasting was live, like radio is, and
So it's radio?
we sat here 24/7, and whenever someone clicked on the podcast, we had to we got a shock and we started talking.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're here.
I mean, by our numbers, we'd only restart twice in a day.
We have to do two podcasts.
This is true. We wouldn't have to do many. Anyway, fun show today. Enjoy.
Oh, good morning, Melbourne. We got one more week of holidays, then we're back live.
Yeah, this is a pre-recorded show this morning. Nah, just kidding. It's live. It's 20. So it's 3. Yeah. So now I'm guessing the time. So
Quick, Liam, hold up today's paper. Just kidding. No one reads the paper anymore. We don't have it.
it's died. Paper print's died, and radio's going the same way. Because we're having holidays like every 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's like who wants to listen to this?
We're doing it to ourselves. It's 6:03 a.m. on
Yes.
April 17. Good morning.
And the gather round was on the weekend. And how else would we have known that if we weren't here live?
Nothing beats a cozy winter getaway.
Or escaping to a tropical paradise.
If you're thinking about an early winter escape, whatif.com has just the place.
Check out great accommodation deals across Australia on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
I feel like it was only yesterday we got the Australia 108 building, and now we have just gotten approved another tallest building for Melbourne. So the state government has approved the $2 billion Twin Tower project in South Bank.
Oh.
There'll be there's 2 towers. One is 288 metres high. The other is 366 metres high. Now, to put that into perspective, currently we've got the Australia 108, which is 316.
That's the one where it's got that yellow thing that looks like a bow tie on it in the
Yes.
middle. Yeah.
But I think
And
it's
it isn't
supposed
from
to
the top, isn't it like a star?
Well, like Southern
if you-
Cross.
Yes, if you're in a helicopter. So if you're lucky enough to be in a helicopter higher than that building, you can look down and see the star.
So these 2 towers that have just been approved for South Bank, they are, if you haven't seen a photo of them, they're twisting. So they're not just straight rectangular. They twist. They're built to look like they're
Sounds like the
twisting
engineer was like,
around.
nah, it's supposed to do that.
Yeah. Sure it's not buckling under the immense pressure? No, 100%. Twist.
Now, so you've got the Eureka Tower, which is 297 metres. So that's just
That's
nothing
now, right?
Just
That's like
chilling.
How's the Skydeck going? Like, are they going? Like, are they hearing this news and it's devastating this morning? Like, if you're rocking up at work, you're listening to us on Nova 100 for your job at the Eureka Skydeck, and you're just going, Jesus.
Imagine
Christ.
if you didn't know about
There's
the
going to
other
be
buildings.
another
Skydeck
2.
is good
Imagine
in
if you-
Yeah, but
itself.
like they're going to be another 2. Like, it will become redundant because it just won't be
Yeah,
the
but it's
biggest
still
anymore.
nice to look outside it. You're not going to
Imagine-
stand on the Skydeck.
But
and
no
go,
one wants to be on the 4th tallest tower.
It'd be
you
an
know?
absolute rip-off if you went into the Eureka Skydeck and you got in there and you got up to the top and then you looked up and there was 3 buildings taller.
There was other tourists looking down at you laughing. Oh, look at all those poor families that could only afford the Skydeck when we were on the big twister tower.
How is this twisting in the wind?
No, let's not badmouth the Skydeck, please. I don't know if we have a deal with them.
You
or
scared
anything,
of the Skydeck? Skydeck promotions team?
It's an iconic thing to do in Melbourne.
Yeah,
You can't
I'm just
come in
purely
there.
saying it is a bit rough that they are, and this is how life works. You know, they build faster roller coasters. You know,
I
Exactly.
reckon we're higher up than the Skydeck right now, and we're on the 2nd story on Clarendon Street.
Okay, you want to start
Come
your
to
own
Nova,
Skydeck.
higher than the Skydeck.
have listeners around looking out the window. Is it going to be the tallest building in Australia, Belle?
Yes.
That's pretty
Do you
cool.
even care about my
No.
building chat?
I thought we were done.
Oh, have you got more on it?
Oh, no, I just wanted to compare it to more buildings.
Oh,
So
go
that's
on then.
fine. No, that's okay.
Is it taller than that Gold Coast one? Because that
the
annoys me.
Q1 tower?
Yeah.
No, that's 322 metres, so this is 366. This will be taller than
Whoa.
Q1.
And they cheat as well because they just got a big pole on the top.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that
that's cheating.
doesn't count. You can't put a flagpole on the top of
You know who doesn't cheat?
who?
Skydeck.
Well, this is true.
Well, they need to start cheating. Because they are so behind.
They do a great job.
It's 6:10. Hallelujah, it's 6:10.
Yep, pretty simple. We got 5 questions. You get them all right, you get to choose the next song we play this morning.
I would say, looking at this morning's quiz, it's not the hardest we've done. I would say it's pretty gettable. So like you said, Ben, yes, if you do win, you get the prize. You also get to pick the next song we play.
Let's go to Richie. Joins us now. Good morning, Richie.
Ricky, but very close.
Oh, that's once again, that's more of a producer problem, not really an us thing. But anyway, Ricky, thanks for playing, man. First question: the AFL Gather Round took place over the weekend, with all 9 AFL matches held in which city?
Adelaide.
Yes, where Ben and I hail from. Eddie McGuire is coming on the show this morning to celebrate 2,500 episodes of Millionaire Hot Seat. That's a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes.
Do you reckon they film it months in advance and just bank them up and just...
They would, yeah.
He's not coming in every day.
Are they counting the replays as well?
Well, no, I think these are all genuine episodes. Anyway, what does the iconic catchphrase contestants say when they lock in an answer?
Lock it in, Eddie.
Yes, yeah. When you work backwards, like, what are they locking in with Eddie McGuire?
Yeah.
It all makes sense. Does what it says on the tin. Liam Payne is considering a career change to join the trend of celebrity boxing. What band is he a member of?
One Direction.
You're good, Ricky. Aussie Princess Mary is visiting Australia. What country is she a princess of?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't get this one.
Yeah,
You
this
wouldn't?
one's tough.
Nah. She's like she's from Tasmania, and then she went to this European country. She met a prince. She got married. She's the princess of.
England?
No.
It's a pretty big one.
That's no, definitely not. Kylie joins us now. Do you know Princess Mary? She's the princess of what?
Denmark.
You got it. Okay, the original Blink-182 lineup reunited at Coachella this weekend. Can you finish these lyrics?
No.
What?
Oh.
Are you for real, Kylie?
I never got the vibe, Kylie, that you were going to get
You're
that.
not a Blink head.
She got the Denmark, though,
Well,
which is...
yeah, I mean, you're around your royalists in the European countries. Well, let's see if Ryan can nail this one for us.
Carry me home.
No, because there's a bit before that. Like
Yeah.
you did get that, but there's like another thing before. Carry me home.
All right, Dane in Rowville, can you please finish these lyrics?
Turn the lights off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
we'll
then-
combine your bit
so-
with the other guy's
yeah.
bit.
If anything, Dane and Ryan both kind of win together. Do they both get a prize?
Nah, we're just going to give the one prize out this morning to the great Dane, mate. Congratulations. Thanks for playing.
Oh, cool.
It is
On
cool,
you,
isn't
Dane.
it?
I like your energy,
Yeah.
Dane. You're real nonchalant. I like you. You're chill. Well, you get that prize that Belle was talking about earlier. Which one was that?
Yeah,
one again, Belle?
$150 to spend at Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
You also get to pick the next song we play. So would you like to hear some Spin Doctors this morning?
Yeah.
Or, Dane, would you like some Big Furred? I'm Like a Bird.
Yeah, I want the bird.
You want the bird?
You want Nelly. You want Nelly Furtado. All right, the smelly tomato. Well, here it is. I'm Like a Bird. It's 6:11.
Dane, you have a great day, mate.
He's
Thanks,
dropped
you
off.
too.
Oh,
No, he's still there.
He's still there. Rock and roll.
Yeah, don't write him off. What's
Yeah.
that, sorry?
Never left.
Hey?
I never left.
No.
I never left.
You're always
Never
here.
left.
You're always in our hearts, Dane. Know that.
You know what, Dane? I'm going to leave you up for this whole song, mate. Feel free to sing along if you
don't.
know the words. You're on Nova.
You're beautiful, that's for sure.
Stage fright.
Never, ever fade.
You're live on the radio, Dane.
You're lovely, but it's not for sure. I won't
wanna do
ever change.
You might know the chorus.
So my love
we
is
go.
great.
This is your moment, Dane.
Go on,
He's not going to sing.
Doesn't like the light, the camera in action. I was overseas recently, Ben and Belle, and I met an A-lister who's the main character in one of the world's biggest franchises. I was at Etihad Stadium in Manchester a few weeks ago, just watching my beloved Liverpool play Man City, and I was sitting next to a man who looked extremely familiar, and he was with these like giant burly guys. And then after a while, I realised, like, hang on, those burly men are his security guards,
Whoa.
and that is in fact the person who I'm thinking. I'm seeing who I'm seeing. It's hard to believe it, but I genuinely met Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So you met Ewan McGregor.
I met Obi-Wan Kenobi, Belle.
Was he in a robe?
He wasn't in a robe, to be fair, but I mean...
Undercover.
Yeah, he was probably on a secret mission.
He's also done a lot more
From
than...
Coruscant.
Yes.
He's done a lot more than Star Wars.
Well, he
Train
had.
Spotting. Incredible
He took
film.
on Darth Maul as a Padawan.
No.
It's no mean feat. Bluffed his way through Camino. Remember that one? Attack of the Clones?
Moulin Rouge. Great film.
Deflected Dooku's Force lightning and torched Anakin on Mustafar. That's my hero right there. That's my guy.
Huge.
And he was in disguise, Ben. He was sporting a big curly moustache. That's why I didn't really recognise him to start with, because you don't normally see him with a moustache, but I looked it up after, and he's doing a movie at the moment with this moustache. And he had like thick glasses and a tweed flat cap. So very much like he was in disguise, really. And I don't think everyone recognised it was him, but I've seen those movies like a million times. Now, obviously, I wanted to say g'day.
Where were you sitting in relation to him?
To say he was one row in front of me, 5 seats down.
Yep.
So I wasn't next to him, but he was like, I could see him the whole game. And to be honest, in the second half, I was kind of probably looking at him more than I was looking at the game. I was just so distracted. And I was respectful because he was also there with his daughter, and I didn't want to like go up to him when there was like a lot of people there, otherwise it's kind of weird. And I was waiting for my opportune moment, and that came just after the final whistle, after the game. Obi-Wan, Ewan, whatever you want to call him, he went to the toilet with his security guards, and I thought, perfect.
No.
I'll get him there.
Were you like following him?
That's creepy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Like what would you do? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, you would follow him into the toilet as well, Ben. I mean, you're a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd like to think that you wouldn't, but you would. Now, I sort of went in. I didn't really need to do a wee, but he was weeing at the trough, and I went up next to Obi-Wan Kenobi, my once-in-a-lifetime chance, and his big security guards were behind me, like chewing their gum sort of thing.
Were they standing like directly behind him?
Yeah, literally, they were just like, well, they're his bodyguards, I suppose. Like,
So
he could also get stabbed in the toilet. I don't know.
Did you just go and stand next to him?
Well,
while
yeah,
he
and I was trying to squeeze one out. Like, trying to squeeze one out. So I really didn't need to go. Now, you've got to understand, I was with you guys at 4:30 at work on the Friday. After that, I finished. I went straight to the airport. I was in transit for like 27 hours. I landed at 8 a.m. UK time, and then I was up. The game was like around 1 p.m. And I went straight to the game. So I hadn't slept in 40-something hours, and I'd had a few beers. So my judgment was sort of probably a little bit off. And I looked at Obi-Wan Kenobi as he was sitting next to me. Well, he wasn't sitting. He was standing. He doesn't wee like that.
Did you keep eye level? Or?
Yeah, I didn't look down, yeah. And I looked to him and I said, hello there. Which is, it's a line from Revenge of the Sith.
Hello there.
Yeah,
It's one of the things he says, yeah.
I reckon you're probably the first person to ever do that.
So original.
It's better than, looking at my old fella and saying, this is my father's lightsaber. Not as clumsy or as random as a blaster. That would have been weird now, Belle. But to his credit, even though he's probably heard that a million times, he sort of chuckled and, he was like...
Because he's an actor.
Yeah. He was like, hello. Super nice guy. And he said, he's like, what a game, huh? And I was like, oh, no, not really. Like, I'm from Australia. I came like 17,000 Ks to watch Liverpool get pumped 4-1. Probably didn't know my life story anyway. He was like, oh, no way. And then, so I was like, oh, like, we'd washed our hands by this point. And I was like, oh, like, I'm a big fan. Like, would it be okay if I got a photo? So we're just sort of out of the toilets. And his bodyguard actually took the photo, which I'll put on the Ben Lehman Bell Instagram story. But it was one, like, he'd done it before, right? It was a real swift maneuver. So with his right hand, he took the photo.
Yeah.
And then he handed me the phone with his right hand, and then with his left hand, he pushed me in the chest and pushed me away. Like, literally, it was so quick. I was like, ugh, I had no time to react. He pushed me away, and then they put their hands around the target and they moved him off the premises.
Oh,
Did he say bye?
No, he didn't even get a chance. But I mean, I also think, I'm like, why does this guy need protection? I mean, he's a Jedi Knight after all. You know what I mean? I'm like, hello? Like.
And after a whole lineup of A-listers have been refusing to do the King's coronation, happening May 7, so coming up pretty soon, we've finally got someone who has agreed to perform at the coronation.
I wonder who they've found, because so many big names turned them
Who's
down.
picking up the scraps?
Yeah.
So when you've got people like the Spice Girls saying no, Adele saying no, Harry Styles, Robbie Williams, Ed Sheeran, Kylie Minogue, all saying no, coming through with the goods, Katy Perry.
Jeez. You wouldn't want to cut away to Prince Andrew in the front row whilst this song was playing, would you?
She had one job. Like, just follow the crowd. If everyone says no, why is she going, you know what? I'll do it.
I don't know. Is it the worst thing in the world though if everyone's zigging and she zags? Like, she's like, I'm going to do it.
I think she's, and like I don't mean this in a bad way, but I think she's at the point in her career where she is saying yes to a lot of things.
Well, and like, it's not an RSL. Like, it's literally the King's coronation. Like, they happen. You know what I mean? It's like, if you think, if you're all about the royals, then it is a very cool gig to do. But I think a lot of people make a stand being like, like, I don't really believe in this sort of stuff anymore. I think that's what a lot of the artists are getting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look at it this way: we're laughing that she's doing it, but honestly, if they asked us to do it, we would do it. You know what I mean? Like
what would we do there, Ben?
Oh, like a barber quartet -1.
And to be honest, they were getting to the stage where they were probably going to start asking Australian radio shows to do barbershop quartets -1.
Our next guest is, you could say, the golden child of Aussie music. We fell in love with him 20 years ago, and since then, he's been topping the charts. Now he's releasing his own scent for you to take home and embrace. Oh, is that what he smells like? Please welcome Guy Sebastian.
Guy, good morning. Thank you so
morning.
much for joining us. And just to be clear, it isn't actually your fragrance. This fragrance doesn't smell like you necessarily.
Well, I do wear it, but I designed it for Jules. So it's crazy in your intro. 20 years it's been.
20.
It doesn't look like you've been on the scene for 20 years. You're a young, fresh man. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
You don't look tired yet, is what I'm saying.
That's always good. I think if I did, you wouldn't say it. You wouldn't say the opposite, though.
Yeah.
Would you? You'd be
I'm like, geez, you're looking tired.
You look like those 20 years. You look like you've done it tough and had a tough paper run. I designed it for Jules, and it's something that's obviously a bit different for me, away from music, but I've always been obsessed with fragrance, and I mean, I'm here in person like we've done so many phoners and things like that, but it's good to actually get here in Melbourne. And,
So we can smell you.
Yes. I couldn't have you smell me over the phone. So.
And so, like you said, obviously, first fragrance you've released.
Yeah.
What is the process when doing a fragrance? With a song, you create it, you make it perfect, you release it. Whereas this, is it kind of similar process?
Very similar, yeah. I mean, look, I think I realised at a young age how much our senses evoke emotion, and so I sort of go by the same process. Like with music, I've always said if I don't feel something, if it doesn't move me or make me want to move, then I've failed, in a song. And so I think with the same thing with fragrance, like I've always known that it evokes stuff. Like I remember my dad getting ready for work. My dad was a geologist, so he'd go away for a month on different oil rigs. And I remember when he'd leave to go away, the last thing that would hang around was Dracar Noir, that like old school fragrance. And I don't know, I think it was my dad that got me obsessed on fragrance. And then I remember, my first ever girlfriend, she used to wear Charlie Red. So anytime I ever smell Charlie Red, it always takes us
you back.
Yep.
It's like similar with songs. I remember when I got dumped and I was listening, there's this Pearl Jam song with the longest title. It's like little elderly lady at the counter of some shop or something like that. And every time I hear
Jules
that
comes home and you're listening to Pearl Jam with a bit of Charlie Red in the air, she knows she's not happy. She knows
I'm having thoughts of my ex. It was a very, very, very young relationship, but still, the process is interesting because I'm a little bit at the mercy of the people who are sending me what I'm trying to articulate, and that's the thing in music. I can go, The bottom end's really muddy, let's shelve these things at 100, and let's, I can get quite specific technically.
Yeah, you're already confusing us with that, for
sure.
Yeah,
but I can really hone in on the technicality and communicate that. Whereas
with a smell.
How do you explain that when you're not...
A bit more woody, a bit less fruity, I don't know.
Or like when you're talking about essence, it's like there's so many, umbrellas under that term. And so what ended up happening was I would go, I love this about this batch number, and I love this about this batch number, and less fruity. I don't want it to be too florally or whatever. And then you end up just getting one, like a song, you hear it and you're like, oh, that's a banger.
That's it.
And so this one, I smelt it, I was like, I think that's the female version of the stuff that I like. And then the ultimate test was Jules.
Yes.
She was like, oh, I love this one. This one's my favourite. And so I was like, that's the one.
There you go. It's a beautiful name as well, Embrace. It's lovely.
Yeah,
it's very telling of what it feels like your marriage would be like.
Well, especially me, like everyone's got their different love languages, and I think that that sort of sums up the challenges of every relationship. We've been together now since I was 18.
That's
so
wild.
23 years.
And my fun fact is that your wife went to my school, so that's just kind of like the biggest celebrity who went to my school.
Torrens Valley or Padare?
Padare.
Oh, yeah.
In Adelaide. Yeah.
It's great for you as well because now the fact that she likes it, birthdays, Christmases for the next 20 years, is sorted.
You've got the stock. You don't even need to reach into your pocket.
I've hidden the free box of it that I got from Chemist Warehouse, so she thinks I'm actually paying for it. But look, my love language is touch and like cuddles and all of that sort of stuff. And it I think the name there's sort of a fair bit behind it because Embrace, she knows for me, like if anything hits the fan, just give us a cuddle, give us a little hug, and I'm sweet.
It's a nice name. You could have also gone Guy for Gal. That would have. I think that would have sold pretty well as well.
Would have as well. Yeah.
Maybe your next fragrance. Unless you do, I think what you should do next time, Guy. Now you're in this world, it's going well. People can get it from Chemist Warehouse. You do one. As you said, you remembered that smell for your dad. You do like a tradie one where it just smells like oil rigs, and just get in there. Yeah.
Well, make sure you go out and get it. It's out now at Chemist Warehouse. Embrace by Guy Sebastian. He joins us now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys in person.
Coachella. It's going down at the moment this weekend and next weekend. If you didn't know, it goes over 2 weekends.
Well, Belle, somehow I managed to miss it. I didn't even know it was on.
Really? I didn't miss it, Ben and Belle. I had I was doing that thing where you can watch it on YouTube. It's pretty good. Like you can literally pick the stages that you want to watch. You can watch it from wherever you are in the world for free.
I've started watching Farmer Wants a Wife.
Sick. Okay, well, no one cares about that, so we're going to talk about Coachella.
It's actually rating really well.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Doesn't it have the guy from Home and Away on it?
I don't know, but they've got like 5 farmers this year, so they've just increased
we know how it
the
works.
farmers.
The farmers want a wife, and they find a wife. The end.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the format.
I think nice but it genuinely it's nice because on The Bachelor, right, it's all like, they're all Instagram stars, whereas the farmer, it's genuine. It's real love.
Didn't your brother apply to be on Farmers Wants a Wife?
You wanted him to go on it.
Oh, right, yeah. He was a farmer who wanted a wife. Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Like Coachella, the biggest festival in the world, happened over the weekend.
Yeah. And you've got headlines like, Gorillaz, Bad Bunny, Blackpink, Frank Ocean. There's huge names from all around the world. Also Aussies, like the Kid Laroi was playing. But the celeb news that came out from the weekend spotted rekindling and making out in the crowd these two.
I love it when you call me señorita.
They were in the crowd at Coachella?
Yep. Oh, well, it's full of celebs. All the celebs, I'm guessing, go for free. So the crowd is full of just A-list, B-list, C-list celebs. And so Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello was spotted. Big deal because they were together for years. Then they broke up ages ago. And now they've been spotted together. So that was your kind of celeb goss from the weekend.
That wasn't my main takeaway from the music festival, Coachella. It was more about the music, funnily enough. And for me, it was Blink-182 reuniting.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody at home.
The original crew. Travis Barker on the kit. Now he's with the Kardashians. Mark Hoppus, who does his own thing, and Tom DeLonge back. He went a bit, nuts, and he thinks aliens are coming to, abduct us all. But they got him. They got him there, and he was singing. And
I didn't realize they broke up.
Well, no, so I saw Blink in 2012 in Australia when they were here for the Soundwave tour, but Travis Barker was in a really bad plane crash and he got quite badly burnt, so he never wants to fly again. So he just stays in America. So they had another guy drumming, and it's not quite the same because he's like, his drumming's really good. So
right, and so this was the first time they played together in how long?
Yeah, probably like 9 years. First time they've played together, the original 3.
It's become a real internet gag where people sing, like making fun of the way they sing.
Where are you?
But that's actually how they're singing.
Where are you?
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry.
Do you think that sounds good?
I think it sounds really good.
Yeah, right.
He sounds like he's joking.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean, though. Like, not many people sing like this anymore. But that's what it was like, like 20 years ago.
As you guys know, Ben and Liam, a very exciting time for me at the moment. I'm about to move into a house with my partner we've bought together. Huge milestone for us, very, very exciting. But with that, of course, moving house comes packing up the old house. Now, I spent all weekend, Luke and I, packing up our old house. and getting everything into boxes, doing all of that, making sure everything's wrapped properly. Obviously, Eco Warrior, I don't use any bubble wrap or plastic or anything, so everything's
you are
wrapped in.
wearing a shirt from Shein, so
Stop bringing it up.
You don't win them all, do you?
It's a once-off purchase. And so, I'm wrapping everything in doonas and pillows and sheets and
can
towels.
I say, Belle,
And Sheen shirts, because you've got so many of them.
Yeah, child labour shirts. You've got so much stuff in your house. You like trinkets and bits and bobs, and Belle loves going to op shops and, finding things. And so your pack is a lot more hectic than a normal person. It'd be
True.
like an old nonna, moving house.
It's the Dutch in me, apparently. Yeah. According to my family, it's the Dutch in me that I like trinkets, a lot of clogs around the house, all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm wrapping everything, and it got to the absolute 11th hour. We had the boxes in the front room stacked. We were like, okay, this is it. We've got to start really putting things into the car and doing all that. We've got to move. And I said, hang on. Just one last thing I want to do. I just really want to just clean out the front yard a little bit. So I got Luke to grab the front tap and pull the hose towards me so that I could start hosing the driveway. As he pulled the hose, the whole front tap in the front yard came out of the ground, just completely snapped.
No.
Completely snapped in half. It's so rusted, it's been cooking in the sun forever. Completely snapped. Created this huge fountain of water, just sky high in the front yard. So he runs over, turns off the mains straight away, which is something I would never know to do. I was like, I don't even know what that is. What did he just do?
I must admit, I know it's what to do, but I don't know where I would turn my mains off. You know what I mean? I know it's I've got to turn the mains off, but then they'd be like, where's the mains? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where they are in my house. I've never known where my mains are.
I hadn't even registered what happened. I was looking over going, what? Oh, it's a big fountain of water. He had already just gone, turned off the mains.
Usually in the attic, for reference.
What?
I feel like he's having me on. I was like, oh, there you go. Who knew? And then I'm like, no, surely not.
I love the idea of a disaster at Liam's house, and he's in the attic
Running around the room.
mains.
Oh, I think this is the air conditioner. Should I turn this off?
So we did that, and it was just absolute chaos. It's the 11th hour. We were about to move. Everything's crazy. Everything's happening. We were time poor, and that happened. We then had to call a plumber, get the emergency, Sunday bill, which was just through the roof. And I said, look, we just got to do it. We just got to get it done. But I'm standing there freaking out. Luke's freaking out. We're just trying to enjoy this moment. 13/24/10. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
Oh, yeah, I get it. So, the worst thing that happened at the worst time.
The worst thing that happened
you were just
at the
about to move
worst
out
time.
and then your tap broke. Or it could be a loved one died and then your dog ran away.
Well, that's sad.
That's just two problems in one.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she's saying, right?
Well,
I think it's the moving out and then the tap breaks.
Yeah.
I think mine works. I mean,
yours is just two bad things happening.
It's like
Well,
my
that's what
house
you're
was
getting
on
at, right?
fire and then the tap broke. It
Well,
was
look,
like
hey,
we were moving.
should we do, what's the worst thing that happened at the worst time? Or if you had two bad things that happened in close succession, 13/24/10 is the number. We'll give you a prize if you call up.
Annika in Mount Martha, 13/24/10. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
Oh, hi, it's Anita, actually. How are you guys?
Yeah,
Love
not
hearing things here in the morning.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was once leaving a rental house, cleaned up the whole house, and as we're leaving, taking the couch out of the front door, and it was a sofa bed, and as we're carrying it out the front door, the sofa bed mechanism came undone, and the sofa bed opened up and went through the wall.
Oh, just knocked the drywall out. Awesome. Yeah. Because you looked after the place for 5 years, no problems, and then boom.
Yeah.
That's a strong couch.
Yeah, no, and then we had to patch a huge hole. Yeah,
Tell you
not
what,
fun.
you're lucky you didn't have any toddlers in the house walking past that. If it could punch a wall down, you know what I mean? That's pretty hectic.
That is wild. Thank you very much. Brett joins us now. Good morning, Brett. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
Well, I went to see that movie Marley and Me, the one about the dog and
Yeah.
the dog passing away, only to come home nearly in tears and having my mum tell me my actual dog had died.
So raw.
The movie becomes real life.
And especially when you just right because you watch a movie like that, and whatever pet you have, you want to just go home and shower them with love, don't you? Like you just want to. You just think, oh man, how lucky am I? Like that, they're God's gift, aren't they?
Such a sad movie.
I mean, it would be a sick joke by your mum as well if she'd seen the film and then she knew what happened, and then you got home and she went, "Oh, the dog's dead." But that's sad. Sorry, Brett.
She was sitting out the front step, and I mean, this isn't good.
Hey, Brett, did you ever see the sequel?
No.
It's just called
Was there a
Me.
sequel?
Sorry, mate.
Brett, I can't tell you how many times I've done that joke.
It's a good one, though, Brett. Everyone falls for it. No, sorry about your dog. Obviously, very sad. Jess in Frankston, what is the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
So I was slugging it on the Westgate Bridge on a Friday afternoon, bumper to bumper, and I sneezed and accelerated a little too hard and bumped into the car in front of me.
Oh, so you sneezed and you got into a car crash?
Yeah, I accidentally clicked the accelerator a little bit too hard and I sneezed.
That sucks as well explaining to the person you crashed into, I sneezed, sorry.
Yeah, that's got me off of at least 8 speeding fines as well. Oh, mate, I just sneezed. I don't know, I was going 110. I couldn't work it out.
Jess, thank you very much.
We're asking 13 24 10. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time? Pretty broad call out, but we've had some amazing stories so far.
Lauren in Gembrook, what happened?
Hi. We were heading away on holidays and we were probably only about 500 metres from where we were stopping, camper trailer on the back with the full drive, and we got a flat tyre. So we had to pull over and my husband's jacking the car up, trying to work out what he's going to do, get the spare wheel out. And then my daughter, she likes climbing, so she got out and climbed up a street pole. It was out in this sort of, off the main road area, climbed right up the top of the street pole, and there was a wasp nest up there.
Oh my God.
So
this keeps getting wild.
Started screaming her head off. She's got wasp bites all under her chin and on her arms. So here's my husband stressed out on the side of the road with a flat tyre and a child screaming with in agony. And to top it off, we put in some drawers in the back of our full drive, and he didn't have the tools to get the spare wheel out. So
God. This honestly sounds like an episode of The Wild Thornberrys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to. You got Donnie up on the on the top of the lamppost getting bitten by wasps. I reckon I've seen that episode.
Lauren, that's amazing. Mandy in Atwood, 13 24 10. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
Okay, so my daughter was 9 months pregnant, goes into labour. As we're going into the car, the dog decides that he's stressed out and wants to jump the fence to get to her. He cuts a tendon, keeps on running. So we have myself and my other daughter searching for a dog while my daughter goes with her husband to the hospital. Gives birth, we find dog, he needs to be operated, and all is well.
I'm so sorry,
Mandy. A bit of a bad phone line.
This is the worst thing that could have happened at the worst time, but we didn't get a word of that because of your phone line.
For me, I gathered that your daughter, 9 months, heavily pregnant, but then your dog jumped the fence and cut its tendon.
I think she was going to labour, and then, the dog jumped the fence, cut a tendon, lost the dog, found the dog, had to be put down. Very sad.
Last one here. Daniel joins us now. What's the worst thing that happened at the worst time?
Guys, this is a while back now, but at my dad's funeral, my uncle, never to be outshone, decided to have a heart attack and die.
Oh my God!
He left his brother's funeral in an ambulance. And, big day.
Couldn't let your dad have it, eh? Couldn't let your dad have that day.
That's really horrible.
Siblings, siblings.
Daniel made the joke.
Well, Daniel, you obviously...
Look, it's been long enough now. We sort of,
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's obviously horrible for you, you and your family. But it was Daniel's choice to share this in a funny sense.
In that case, Daniel, then did you get a 2-for-1 deal and just bring him back?
Oh, okay. Well, I think that was a step too far.
Wait, bring him back. Where are you taking him?
There's a video on the internet, and it just gets me every time. I think it was on a French talk show, maybe a German TV show, and basically they have these 6 people on the couch, and they're all there because they have really whack laughs. And then they do something that's a bit funny, and then, one by one, they all start laughing. All these extremely unique laughs. And of course, like, when some people are laughing, they're laughing at other people's laughs, and it's all very infectious, and it goes and goes and goes. And I mean, it's one of the greatest pieces of audio on the internet, I think. I think you've got it there, Ben. I like that.
Sounds like a zoo, really.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Imagine if you're on a date with someone who was like going really well, and you're sort of like, oh, I'm really into this person, and then you hear him go, like, you know what I mean? Because some people do, like, you know, there's lovely people out there that have horrible laughs. Like, I think in anyone's friendship circle, there's people you're.
It's cute. If I was on a date with someone and they started laughing weird, I'd be like, oh,
I'm not
sweet.
wild on the snorts.
I'm a snorter sometimes, so I
You do
sympathise.
snort a bit when you,
I do.
yeah. Well, just for the record, I'm not wild on that.
Well, I'm sorry, Liam. I'll try to snort less.
We are organising is our own Melbourne International Comedy Festival show, and we want to fill it with weird laughers.
Obviously, it kicked off March 29, going right through to April 23. On sale now, tickets and info at comedyfestival.com.au. But yeah, we're going to get the wonderful Dave Thornton to host this and a few of the best comedians at the festival. It's happening this Thursday, right? And yeah, as Ben said, we want the crowd full of people in Melbourne who have unique laughs.
So if you want to see a free show, 13 24 10, don't call yet. You have to have a weird laugh or know someone with a weird laugh.
If your dad is like, like if that's his laugh and it's like a bit of a family joke and everyone's like, we'd love to have him there in the front row because I think it'll be infectious when you, and I reckon it'd be a better show.
Oh yeah,
because obviously the comedians are really funny, but when you're hearing other people's laughs, that'll make you laugh more.
Absolutely. So think of it like a big grand finale we're putting on for the end of the comedy festival. Like you said, Liam, it's wrapping up this weekend. So we're throwing this Thursday, hosted by Dave Thornton. If you or someone you know has a really funny or weird, strange laugh, we want them on board.
13 24 10 is our number. We'd love for you to give us a buzz.
Tash joins us now. Is this your laugh or is it someone you know?
It's my mum.
Your mum.
And is it like a laugh you find annoying, or is it like a bit of a joke that she's just got a weird laugh?
No, we love it. It's actually like a bit of a combination laugh.
Okay, Tash, can you give us like your best version of it?
Oh, it makes me laugh trying to even do it. So it's a bit of a and then she holds her breath. She holds her breath and she's crying because she can't get the laugh out.
That's good. So that's because like it's gonna be like, you know, in like an orchestra and you've got someone doing the trombone there, and if we've got a in the corner there and there's a somewhere, you know, near the front row, it's gonna sound amazing.
Tash, your mum sounds perfect. We're going to give you tickets for you and her to come along this Thursday night. If you would like to come along to the show for free, just give us a buzz. 13 24 10. Maybe it's your laugh, or maybe you want to nominate somebody else's laugh.
You can also head to the win page on the Nova Player app. It's going to be unreal. It's happening this Thursday. And if you haven't got to any shows yet, I mean, it's going to be some of the best comedians performing.
Tonight, Millionaire Hot Seat is reaching 2,500 episodes. That's a lot of cash and a lot of questions. About 37,000 to be exact. And they're from the beginning and joining us now to celebrate this huge day. Please welcome Eddie McGuire.
Eddie, good morning and welcome back to your old studio. You did the hot breakfast here for, what, 12 years in that very seat?
I know. The only thing was you had Post Malone instead of the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, this is it.
And I didn't quite know where I was for a moment.
This is the weird thing. There's many buildings in Melbourne where you could move into, but no, like Triple M moved out and they moved to a new spot, and Nova took over. Like we're like the new tenants here, and we put the red colours on, and you know painted over all the black and orange.
It's pretty much the same vibe as it was when you were here.
Well, it is for me right now because I'm actually standing where I stood for 12 years. This was actually my microphone, so I could keep an eye on everything over there.
There you go.
Now,
it's great to be here. Thank you, guys.
There's lots to talk to you about, Eddie. I obviously want to talk about Millionaire Hot Seat, episode 2,500. But first, Gather Round. Were you in Adelaide for Gather Round? Did you watch it on telly?
Yeah, I was there for part of it. Yeah, and it was fantastic, and I was a strong proponent of it. I'm showing my age here, but I was a young reporter when in 1988 they had the Bicentennial Carnival over in Adelaide. So a state of origin, and they had everyone playing. And I remember a young Indigenous player by the name of Michael Long played for the Northern Territory, and everyone thought he'd get crushed if he played in the big league. Yeah. And Kevin Shetty was standing behind me, and he said, no, he could do something different. It changed the whole face of football. And so it was great yesterday to see the apology to Nicky Winmar that happened, and so many great things came out of it. And now Adelaide have got it for the next 3 years, which I think is the right thing to do, because there'll be a rate of return for the South Australian government. By the way, put Peter Malinauskas on your list for Canberra. He's everyone's given him the big tick. He has been the superstar star. If you reckon Collingwood played well yesterday, you should have seen him over the week. He killed them. He was fantastic.
Here's the deal. If you don't know Mally as well, he's the Premier of SA. Real hunk. Obviously, Ben and I,
He's
we
the thinking
hail from
person's
Adelaide.
crumpet.
Oh, yeah. No, you can see why he got the votes, that's for sure. And now he's brought the whole AFL to Adelaide
And
until
the Live
2026.
Golf as well.
And the Live Golf as well.
So they're going really well in Adelaide. And, I think that was the great thing about it, was the community aspect. And now that it's there for 3 years, they're going to go to the Barossa Valley. And so the infrastructure will go in and there'll be a legacy. I mean, I'm always critical that when you see Olympics, they come in, it's great for 2 weeks and then they leave a trail of disaster. Australia's always done it pretty well. The legacies of Olympic Games, even here in from 56, the MCG is completely different, but the vibe, if you like, it's the vibe, is still the same. And that's where, you have a look at Melbourne as a heartbeat for sport. It's because we've had 100,000 people able to go to the races since the dawn of time, since the 1850s. MCG, 100,000. So people can go to these great events. That's the legacy that has been left from smart people, going back to Governor Latrobe in the 1830s, who actually put aside a parcel of land and said, go and play some sport down there. It's called the MCG.
Yeah, wow.
Still works, doesn't it, all these years later?
Well, watch this space in Adelaide. Like you said, locked into the next 4 years. Incredible.
Next 3.
Well, let's turn our attention to Hot Seat. Yes. 2,500 episodes. I mean, you surely wouldn't have thought you'd be doing that many when you first kicked off.
My word, I did.
Oh, you did? my question is, how? Obviously, we're seeing it all the time on our screens. Are you there every day, or do you bank a few up? You do a long day and you crank out 5 episodes.
People forget that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? There's another 300 episodes behind that, so it's actually $90 million we've given. Now, what I do is we go in, and this has probably been more pertinent because of through COVID. We had to sort of do it when we could.
Yeah, of course.
In fact, we took the show to Brisbane at one stage during the...
For the gather round of Hot Seat. Yeah.
Well, basically, but it was when we were in the hub for the AFL.
Yeah.
And the grand finals played up there. So we actually had to get it out of town to keep it going. So, no, I'll knock over 6 in a day. 6 1-hour shows.
What a pro.
And then...
so many people would come up to you and be like, Eddie, I won, and if you're cranking out 6 a day, there's no way in hell you are remembering people who won any amount of money on that show.
Guys, I occasionally turn the show on. And I've got no idea the questions, who's there. I think I know the host. I've seen him before.
Well, a good thing then that's happening with this special, with the 2,500th episode, is you're revisiting some of the past winners and see what they've spent the money on.
Yeah, it is. And it's, to be honest, getting all philosophical now, the thing that keeps you going in this show is, in fact, every day you get 6 contestants on, and it's a moment in time to change their life. And you get the postcards from people who say, I did take my mother back to the village she left all those years ago. There was one guy during the global financial crisis who came on, and he looked like a businessman, and he looked good and all this, a really smart guy. And at the end of it, he was actually shaking. And I don't normally follow them out because I've got another show to do. Go and change my tie and come back out again. And
the secrets of the trade.
Anyway, I said to this guy, do you want to use my phone? Because they don't have any phones for security reasons. To ring somebody. He said, could I? And he rang his wife, and he broke down. And I remember thinking, he said, I was just about to tomorrow put my house on the market, and I was taking my daughters out of private school. And so this wasn't life changing, it was life saving.
Wow.
And he won, I think he won $250, the gentleman at the time, and he went and saved his life. His house had he was under pressure, so he was going to sell his house, so he didn't ever actually have to tell his daughter that things were that bad. So there's those types of things all the way through, and people, I always say, look, you can pay the credit card off, which is a big thing these days. Eat into the mortgage is a big thing these days. To have that holiday, buy a car, whatever the case may be, it changes people's lives. So the $1 million is, while it's called Millionaire Hot Seat and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, doesn't necessarily mean, So we've had 4 winners over the 2 shows, 2 in this, but we've had a fair few people win $250,000 over the journey. I think we've had, I'm looking at my notes, 34 people have won 250. So it's $90 million.
And that, like you said, bucks. A millionaire, it sounds great. It's fantastic. A huge amount of money. But yeah, in this day and age, even just $50,000 can save someone's life.
Well, look, Eddie, often you're the one putting people in the hot seat.
Here we go.
But we've heard a rumour about you, Eddie. Apparently you're...
It's not true.
Apparently you are incredible with faces. Obviously, you've done a lot of gigs with footy, radio, TV over the years. You would have worked with many people. And apparently, the people you've worked with, you never forget a face. And this story comes from a producer of ours, Brody. Now, he's not here this morning because he got married on the weekend. But he told us that you met him like 6 years prior. And he was so impressed because you came up to him and shook his hand and said, Brody, how are you? And we were like, there's no way.
We didn't believe it.
We were like, nah. Either he had someone who told him that it was you or he wouldn't have remembered you, man.
Yeah.
Like, he does too much stuff to remember you.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from him. And he was like, nah, legit. Like, he'll never
that'd
forget
be
me.
right. No, I remember Brody. He's a good bloke.
Oh, you do?
You do remember Brody?
Yeah, I remember Brody.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
let's see how we go here because we
Oh,
do
yeah,
have...
You're going to put me to the test.
We've got 3 photos here. One of these people is Brody.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are not. So you've got 3 photos. We want you to tell us which one is your close friend Brody, who you have never forgotten.
So there's, like you said, Liam, there's 3, so they're numbered 1, 2, and 3.
How are you feeling about number 1?
No, it's not number 1. I know number 1 though.
Who's number 1?
Number 1 is a. Number 1 is in a series at the moment. Television series.
Was it
close enough?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it is. No, that's what's his name? The Scottish singer.
Yes, Lewis Capaldi. It's not Lewis Capaldi?
Yeah,
Okay,
Lewis
well
Capaldi.
done. Well done, you've recognised Lewis Capaldi.
The show you're talking about is the Netflix documentary.
Yes, he's got a new
which I watched the
doco
other
out.
day, actually.
Yep.
It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good. My father's from Glasgow, so anytime there's a Scotsman up there, it brings back great memories.
It's fantastic.
Well, now
Being
there's
yelled
2.
Now there's 2. Now, this bloke is my man, number 3.
You think number 3 is Brody?
Yeah.
That is Belle's partner, Luke. Unfortunately, number 2 is our producer, Brody.
That's it.
Who reckons that you've never forgotten him, but obviously...
But he's in a suit here. We've never seen him in a suit.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Looks like a waiter there.
I cannot wait to rub it in his face when he's back.
No, he never forgets. He never forgets a face. He never forgot me. Oh, I don't know about that.
Well
I don't know
done,
about that,
Eddie.
Brody.
Well done.
Let's just pop it up to your partner there. He's good looking, Bruce.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Hey, welcome to Melbourne too. I love the promo on the television. You guys are doing great things. So good to have you, okay?
Thank you very much,
Well,
Eddie.
Belle, you're from Melbourne, so
Yes,
that's all right, okay?
I'm home.
That's it, you're back. Welcome back, okay?
Thank you
And
so
now I feel like,
much.
and Liam and I being from Adelaide, I feel like people are more accepting of Adelaide after gathering around.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not as shit as we remember. It's actually all right. Yeah.
Look, I was over there. I spent a month in Adelaide one weekend. It was fantastic. And as they say, when you fly into Adelaide, adjust your watches back 10 years.
Oh, come off it.
You are here with your mates Ben, Liam and Belle, back from having 2 weeks off. Very unnecessary, we understand. But we've come back fresh and with new ideas, like the Fast Five.
Ben, Liam and Belle's Fast Five. Thanks to What If, it's Aussie for travel.
Every single morning, we quickly do the Fast Five. 5 questions, you get them all right, you win $100. If you get it wrong, though, if you get one question wrong, tomorrow, jackpots double, $200, $300, $400.
Keep going until someone wins $1 million.
But the best way to do it is because as soon as you get an answer wrong, we will stop there.
Yeah.
So you can pass and we'll come back to that question. Good morning to you, Melissa. You're up this morning. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So you've got 30 seconds, 5 questions.
Okay.
But I think the key here is, Belle just mentioned it, but the key is if you don't know it, just pass and we'll come back to it, okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, no problem.
Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Fast! Okay, let's do it.
Well, you're ripping off.
Yeah, I was trying
Gleason.
to do the thing. I'll think of a new catchphrase for this tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll come up with a good one.
All right, I got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's do it.
Who sings...
3.
Okay, came in a little early.
1.
Who sings the song Dark Horse?
Oh, pass.
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Oh, God, pass.
Oh, jeez. Okay. What's 8 times 8?
64.
Which European country has a flag with 3 vertical stripes that are black, yellow and red?
Oh, pass.
Oh, jeez. What musical modern remake of Romeo and Juliet is playing in Melbourne at the moment?
God, pass.
All right, let's go back to the first question. Oh, who sings the song Dark Horse?
That's it.
It's not Leonardo da Vinci, I'll tell you that much for free. It's Katy Perry, obviously.
Sorry, Mel, but look, we do appreciate you playing. The bad news is you lost. The good news is tomorrow, $200 up for grabs.
Yeah, and 3 vertical stripes being Belgium. If it was horizontal, it'd be Germany, different country entirely. And Juliet was the musical we were looking for at the end there as well.
And Melissa, you can always call and play again. Maybe you can try again in a few days. Just get your pop quiz knowledge up.
At least you're good at your times tables, I suppose. I mean, it's not a complete loss.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.